Go over, I guess, before we start, situations that you come about and you found that, oh shit, I don't know how to keep this person safe. Have you had that problem yet? Mm-hmm. You have. Okay, perfect. Go ahead. Tell me what it was.
I guess it's more of like, for example, Matt. Like he's doing 140 pounds chest press.
Okay.
I'm not chest pressing myself.
Nope.
And I can deadlift more than 140. So
Good.
Good. But the thought of it was like, oh man, if he's like.
Okay.
Breaking, like whatever. But,
okay, so then.
Just show me some tips.
Absolutely. So the number one thing you have to understand, and the client has to understand, especially if the client's getting heavier and heavier weight, is that it's not dependent on you to take the weight up. It's a combined effort. You're just kind of helping him guide it on the way up. If he can, you have to communicate. He cannot let go of that weight altogether. You're not bailing on your chest. You go, and then at the same time it's you. If you start seeing like. We're gonna get into each specific lift. The rule of thumb that I take is if I see you struggle for 2 or 3 seconds and that bar's not moving up anymore and it's starting to go down, I'm immediately gonna pull up, start pulling up. But you have to tell them, keep pushing up with me. That's the main thing. You cannot let that bar, the other way it happens is they go up, blah, 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 you can, the bar goes down on their chest. Okay, on the count of 3, I'm gonna be on the sides, you're gonna help me pull it up. 1, 2, 3. Push, you push, and I'm gonna pull. That's all you can do. But you don't want it to get to that point because they're running out of energy at that point. So if they're halfway up, just keep pushing while I pull, but don't give out yet, right? That's number one. There's gonna be a lot, 140 is not a lot of weight. In terms of like Paul, in terms of TJ, like other people that train, right? Yeah, Kyle, exactly. So it's gonna be something that you have to get comfortable with. If they want to go to failure, you have to communicate. If you're going to go to failure, you cannot give out on the end, on the last rep. You're going to have to push with me at the end to help you receive it, right? Or you have to tell them, if I see you struggling even 1 second, I don't feel comfortable you letting them down, I'm going to pull it up for you a little bit, right? You have to communicate that though. It's up to you. Whoever the coach is and however strong they are, they have to communicate that. There's plenty of times I pull ladies' chest bars off by myself, right? But I'd never taught them like this because it's the first time doing it. Once they do it and they get stronger, I have to show bailing efforts. I have to show how to bail on a back squat, stuff like that, because I'm like, dude, I'm not stepping in if you're gonna bail on me, right? They have to know if I'm behind you, we're gonna pull it up together. But if I'm behind you, you're gonna let it go, I'm gonna get hurt. Yeah. So you gotta be careful with that too at the same time, right? We're either not gonna struggle through it or we're gonna struggle through it together, right? But I guess the first thing to think about in terms of a game plan, in terms of spotting would be, you gotta know how many reps they're going for, how many reps are assigned. If they've been going for 4 and they're trying to shoot for 8 this time, maybe not yet. Let's go for 5, 6, 7. Let's go through that phase, right? Number 1. Number 2 is then going to, you wanna, how would I say it? On the floor, you wanna stay wide with your legs, especially on the squat. You want to stay wide, wider than the client, right? So at least I'm going to open up my legs and be wider because I have a wider stance. They're usually stronger at that point. I'm not going to go to 90 with them, but I'm going to help them pull out of it. If they do get stuck at the bottom, you have to pull them by their armpits and pull up, right, together. But you have to like race up together, right? At that point, but that's what I'm saying. We're going to go over bailing and how to teach bailing. You want to make sure that if somebody gets themselves into that situation where they're going for maximum weight and they can't handle it, you should have shown them bailing at that point before that, or somebody should have. If you're not sure, you always ask, do you know how to bail out of this? If not, let's go over it. Semi 4, there's 4 people, you can still show it. I show it all the time, right? One big thing is you never want to take the weight away from the person unless he or she's immediately in danger of dropping the weight. That's the only time it's immediate, but like I said, you're doing it together. A proficient spotter provides just enough assistance for the client to successfully complete the lift. So I'd rather you help him and be like, what the fuck, you took that lift off me? Yeah, like I was scared. Honestly, it's my fault, but I'd rather you not fall on yourself, right? The client's wrist is always the best place to spot on anything with their hands. Always the best place to spot. If you spot this, if the wrist give out, then you don't have anything to trap. At least, especially on dumbbells, if the wrist give out, at least you can guide the wrist down. So you always want to guide through the wrist, right? Or if not, and if they're going down hard, push the dumbbells away from them. Because you're still guiding to the wrist, so you can just push them away, and I'll show you everything that I mean, right? Let's see. Before we keep going, you always want to cue it. use your words more than anything, right? Chest out, drive, don't let your knees cave in, especially when you're on a squat, right? Hey, push through your legs. If you have to be the one getting him out of that position. So if you start, they're gonna start slowing down. There's usually not a point where like, they're gonna be like, right, on the last couple. So if you start seeing that, you have to guide them, use your legs, push through your legs, push through your legs, push through your whole body. Because you don't want them to get stuck either. It's gonna be on you to get it up, right? So you have to use your words. Don't just say push, 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 guide them through it. Use your heels, push through your legs. If they have the legs up, drop your legs and let's push through the whole thing, right? Whatever it is. Let's see. Yeah, under the Olympus, yeah, okay, so let's go through each lift. Let's start with chest press. Let's grab a bench real quick and let's grab like, Kira, what's the most you can do for bench, you think?
I don't know.
30s you think you can handle? Or is that too much?
Oh, okay.
For yourself to bench, yeah? Bring 30s in. You can put it over here, man. Because yeah, we're gonna do barbell anyways. Why are you laughing?
We'll see.
What? That's okay, you don't have to do it. I just wanted to see something that we can all do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna have actually Brett be the client. So let's go ahead and do chest press, all right? So number one thing is we always want to teach, when we get to this level of spotting, there's going to be two client scenarios. Client that's really strong and a client that's either a beginner or somewhat not proficient at lifting, right? Which is going to be an older person that's been here for a while, but they might not be doing this exercise, something like that. That's going to take two different requirements of spotting. You just got to remember that. There's a proficient level and a not proficient level. We're going to simulate the proficient level first. Okay, let's say this is a client that's been here forever. He's lifted heavy and he's just gonna give out on that one time, okay? So let's go ahead. You first gotta know they're gonna bring the weights back. On this client, you almost never hand them the weights unless it's like a one-arm chest press or something like that. But they at this point know to bring the weights back with them. You would have taught them that. Does everybody feel comfortable teaching that? We've gone over this, right? Okay. So let's say we're gonna do a reps, whatever. Let's get 10 reps. You're gonna be nice and easy. All right, Brad, nice job. Keep pressing to your feet. And let's say this is rep about 10 and he's starting to get tired and he's starting to fail. Okay, nice. All right, don't give out on me. Let's go up. There you go. And now I'm going to go down. I'm going to place it on your side. All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and either I'm going to take one. Let me take this one out of the way. And then let me take the other one out of the way. That's one way of doing it, right? The other way of doing it, let me grab it. All right, thanks. That's if you can put it down safely. Okay, go ahead and go 2 more. We might do like 30 reps by the end of this. Okay, up, there you go. And I'm staying close, so I'm not holding on. Let's do a couple more. I'm going down, up with them. So when I start feeling like, oh man, they're struggling a lot, I'm gonna probably hold their wrist, right? Okay, right here, let's say you fail, you can't do it anymore. All right, you know what, Brett, let go to the sides, all right, let go. And I don't want him to follow through with that. So I wanna, if I need to, let's say you act the weights. If I need to, I'll be here and I'll be like, all right, Brett, so what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna let go, but I want you to open up your hands as soon as we start going that way. Because the other problem is, if they go and they hold on to the weight,
so much stress on the shoulder.
So much stress on the shoulders. So you don't want to do that. So you have to pre-calculate all that. It's honestly, spotting a lot of times is being attentive to what could happen, right? If there's a dumbbell there, it could hurt their hand if they're going to smash into the dumbbell. So you also want to, if you don't want to do that, there's a dumbbell there. In that case, I'm going to take the weight. So I'll tell them, hold the weights there for a second. I'm going to grab one. If the other one's side, okay, let it go, right? So I have to be careful what's around my area. That's why I also want to be clear around my area. There's never anything else. That's one way of doing it. Now, if a client, let me think about any other things on that. I wouldn't spot from the elbows because you can't control the wrist. And the wrists go in, they go in. If they go back, they go back. You cannot control that. You can control it from where they're going down to their chest. That's a much better safe position, right? If they're, a lot of times this morning or this afternoon, Arun, go ahead and step up or step out. This morning, Arun, I was coaching Arun. And he was doing, I had to spot him in all 3 sets. He was trying a different weight. He was going up, and on the 3rd set, he went to his face, so I had to be there and like kind of guide it back to his chest, right? Because it was going this way, and like, oh shit, okay. All right, let's go that, let go of that weight, right? So you always want to be careful who you're going up in weight with. When you want to progress somebody, especially in a semi-2 or semi-4, not a private. Let's say it's not a private, this is not a private setting. You want to make sure you're going to be there on the first time they try a different weight to make sure they're comfortable with it. And you're going to tell them, hey, let's go. You're going to tell them what to go for. We're going to go for 6. So you're both on the same page. Communication is key. You have to communicate with the client what you want them to do. If they're going for 8 and you think they're going for 12 and at 8 you're not ready for it because their hands are free, you're fucked. Like they're going to get hurt, right? If they're going for 6 but they fail at 5, you're still there. Like it's closer, right? So at least you're there. But you have to know that they're gonna go for 6, 7, or 8, and then you're gonna be closer paying attention to that. I mean, I'm paying much more attention closer the whole time because the first time they're doing it, but I wanna be much closer to, okay, is this gonna start looking like they're gonna fail? The speed of the arms is a big one for me. So that just takes a lot of time, but somebody, at this point, I know most of my clients, or most of our clients, if they're crushing it, they're gonna be different. But there is such a thing to say speed of the bar, speed of the dumbbells, whatever it is, speed of the movement. If they start not feeling comfortable or confident, they're gonna slow it down a lot. Right. Because they're not gonna feel comfortable. So at that point, I'm gonna start getting closer because the slower you go, the more muscle requirement it's gonna take. So you know they're gonna get tired. Even though it's not necessarily safe to go faster, they might have better control because they're powering it through. Right? So they're gonna lock out their arms, they're gonna be safe if they lock out their arms. If the arms can't get straight, there's only one way to go. Here, here, or inside, right? The worst thing would be like this. This would be the worst thing. You would tear your shoulder like that. So you never wanna let go like this. So it was when I go Q, and then extend, let go. Or Q, let me hold on, I'm gonna take one away and take the other one away. The other one you can do is Q, don't take it away, you're gonna go one at a time out. And you can guide the wrist, right? But spot the wrist first. Always spot the wrist on anything dumbbell bench pressing. For somebody that's doing it really heavy, I will spot it from here. From somebody that's really light, I will spot it from here. Right? I'll get down to their level and spot them below. Let me think. Anything else I can think of on this one? On an incline press, same thing. You're gonna get them. You're gonna spot. It's gonna be a lot harder for an incline press. They're gonna most likely fail a lot more when an incline press. Bring it down, let go. Right? Bring it out, let go. And they don't feel comfortable, bring it down. Don't even, if you don't feel comfortable with them letting go, just bring it out of them. Hold, okay, bring them down for them to their chest. This is a safe position. It's not gonna hurt them. One at a time, the other one at a time. That's the safest thing you can do. Honestly, I would do it all the time. I do it all the time still. I'd rather let them then go like that than anything else. A power block is gonna get ruined if you let it go. So I usually take him off, or I ask them if they can bring him to their ear now. Because they usually know at that point to pull it here, finish your set. Okay, so in case it happens, I bring it down with them. Okay, can you sit forward? Depending who it is, easily. If it's Jimmy, for example, no, hell no. And I'm also not gonna let Jimmy do it without me in front of him, right? So that's another thing. That's why I'm saying it depends on the client. The less proficient clients, I'm staying there most of the time. Even if it's a lightweight, Gail Kelly, almost always, I would stay on her, especially if she's trying a new program on anything chest pressing, because that left shoulder gives that all the time. And then she's honestly like, she's like this all the time. And you can't correct her shoulder because it's not gonna move differently, right? Okay, so we got that. Floor pressing, same way. We're floor pressing and almost like this. And the floor pressing, all you wanted to do is you go down and you push it to the sides, right? You guide the arm each one at a time, right? Does that take care of dumbbell bench pressing for you? Do you have any questions on it? Do you want to act it out? Would you like to act it out?
Sure.
Yeah? Let's act out. Which one? I guess you're shorter. Why don't we act out incline? Incline. So, wait, you want to act it as a client or you want to be the coach? You want to know what it feels like?
Sure.
Okay, so let's grab that. All right, so if you can't get that weight up, that's a perfect example. I'm gonna have to get it up for you. A lot of times also, it's getting the weight up for them. You can ask him, especially a more proficient client, hey, do you want me to help you lift it up? Bonnie's an example. Bonnie likes to have the weights lifted up. She can't get him off her chest. Yep, on the floor press, on a barbell, on a dumbbell chest press, yeah. Anything on dumbbells is gonna be hard. All right, Kitty, you think you got it? You want me to help you? I still spot on the wrist because I don't know.
Both hands at the same time?
Both hands at the same time, push through your legs. There you go. So she does not clearly have control of this weights. I'm gonna spot her. So I was glad I was there. I only need to spot you because I was there, right? So let's go down slowly. No control, so I'm gonna guide her wrist, right? I can tell right away, right? All right, let's try to push up again and push through your legs. There you go. But you see how I have control of you? Okay, back down again. Good. All right, so we're gonna take one off at a time. Do you think you can put it on your laps or not yet? Let's say you did that, but I don't want you to do that right now. Okay. Hey, all right, Kira, what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna let go of your right arm and let go of it. There you go, and the same thing on your left. Perfect. On any other rubber weights, you can do that. On the power blocks, it might be a lot more difficult. You just know you're gonna mess them up unless on a situation where you have to do it. I don't care what happens to them. I'd rather the client be safe. Just make sure you're careful with their toes. The other thing I cue on is, hey, pick up your toes as soon as you're gonna do that. The right toe, pick it up in case it does flips. You don't wanna do it, and that's why you wanna do it as far away as possible, right? So what I want you to do is spot me. I'm gonna get 70s. All right, or nah, 60s. I haven't warmed up.
Incline or flat?
No, this way. Let's do it this way because she's smaller. I wanna see how she handles it. All right, so you're not tall. You have to know that. So you have to cue people, right? So I'm gonna have you guide me. You're gonna coach me through this work. This is the first time I'm going to 60s. I'm stepping up. What do you want me to do, coach?
All right, so you're gonna lay back down with them.
Okay.
Chest. Make sure you control it. Okay. All right. Dig your heels into the ground. Squeeze that butt. Put your shoulders down and back. When you're ready, go ahead and press up.
Okay.
And then control them back down.
All right. Oh man, I'm giving up.
Okay. We're gonna go back down slowly.
Okay.
Okay. You're gonna drop this hand. So we're gonna go over here to open up that hand. As you're dropping it, you're gonna open up the hand.
I have to pick up my foot, right?
And take your feet.
Yeah. How was that for you?
How was that?
Yeah. Did you feel comfortable with it?
I did.
Okay. Do you feel like you had control of the weights with them or no?
I did.
Okay.
Like if you were let go, I would have had more control.
If I would have let go of what?
Like you didn't completely let go.
No.
I felt that.
You want me to completely let go and see what happens?
No.
Okay. That's all you gotta do is spot on the wrist. And you're gonna tell him, hey, I'm gonna grab your wrist, especially you, because you're gonna feel a lot more comfortable. For me, it's different, right? Because I know what I'm doing. But if you don't feel comfortable letting them go on their own, I'm gonna hold your wrist. Just know that I'm not gonna try to help you. If it happens, it's because I'm trying to spot you. Okay. Communicate what you're trying to do. Matt sometimes like, did you help me on that? And I'm like, no, I didn't help you on that, but I had to spot you, right? It might feel like I helped you, but like I had the bar, but I'm not pulling it up for you. I'm just making sure my hands, in case something happens, are there, right? That's the biggest one. You have to make sure you communicate. You feel okay about that? Wrist. It's gonna be honestly the same thing, but with the bar on the barbell, okay? So let's set up a barbell. We're gonna set it at level 9, okay? Since we already have the bench here, let's bring both those J hooks right there. Let's go with red plates. Let's go with red plates. Thank you. Yeah, red plates. Red plates, I'm sorry, 45s. Oh, one more, my bad. There you go. Wreck? You're not in school? So another question is, do I need to put a what do you call it? A pin on this, right? Yes, always the answer is for this, yes. For the trap bar, it's a hard one. Most people do, right? It's time dependent. I think you should. If you're teaching a client how to do it on their own, they always should, right? I myself don't ever put anything on a trap bar, but I do it on my barbell deadlifts, just not on my trap bar, because I know my trap bar won't hit me in my toes. It's too far out to the sides, and the trap bar's protecting me, so I'm fine. If it falls over, I'm just gonna fall on the other side. That's all it is, right? If it's on a deadlift, that's a different story in a client, right? Okay, so, all right, Brett, I want you to be an example. So you're gonna be my client again.
Get my workout.
Yes, sir. Okay, so first thing you're gonna do is on all of them except for that one, you're gonna have to walk underneath to spot somebody, right? On that one, you can go behind it. That's the only one that sticks a little bit further away from the wall, right? It's a little uncomfortable getting underneath, but you just have to make sure you're doing it, because you're not, if somebody's going for heavy, you don't want to stand there. We're gonna talk about standing there in a little bit, okay? All right, so let's go for like 5, okay? So number 1 is, let's say you didn't need a lift off, right? On a lift off, I communicate. I'm gonna go, let's count to 3. On your 3, I'm gonna help you lift it up. Ready?
All right. 1, 2, 3.
So when I lift it up, I'm not taking the weight out of it. I'm helping him lift it up. I'm giving like maybe 20 pounds of weight on it. I'm gonna, okay, wait. You're gonna wait until I let go of the bar. All right, now go ahead and start. You don't want them to start while they're holding onto the bar, because they don't know what the weight's gonna be like, right? So you're gonna, actually pull it back. What you wanna do is communicate, hey, I'm gonna help you lift it off, but wait until I let go of the bar until after I get it out to reset, right? Another thing that I do on this one is, we're gonna take it off the bar. When you get the bar on top of your shoulders, you're gonna reset your shoulders before you start again. Because usually that's the reason for lifting off, is to help them keep that set on their shoulders as they're going heavy. All right, Brett, ready? On your 3, we're gonna go ahead and start.
All right. 1, 2, and 3.
There you go. So he did almost everything. I was just guiding the bar towards staying on top of him. All right, let's go ahead and crank out a couple reps. Okay, so I'm just gonna be here. I'm following the bar. That's all I'm doing, right? And let's say he struggles on the way up. All right, struggle on the next one. 1, 2, shit, I'm gonna pull him up. But he's helping me, right? He's helping me. I didn't communicate that with him. I just trust him to do it. The only other reason it wouldn't happen is, okay, let's do it again. Let's do like 2. On the second one, fail on me, okay? Up, and I wasn't there enough. He goes back to his chest. Okay, on 1, 2, 3, we're gonna pull it up. Ready, go. He has to, I'm not gonna lift that up for him. I mean, I could, but for the purposes of explaining, I'm not gonna lift that up for him. I need him to help me push up. So you can let the weight go down to his chest. Don't get paranoid about it. Give him a breather. Take some of the weight off if you can, so you can get a breather. All right, Matt, on 1, 2, 3, I want you to help me push up the bar. 1, 2, 3, it should give you enough weight to be able to do it. If that guy cannot help even lift a little bit of weight, he should have never done that weight anyways, right? So we should never be at that point, unless we're doing like eccentrics with a lot of weight, and there should be 2 spotters on that side, and we're not ever doing that, and we're not athletic. Yeah, no, we haven't been doing that. So you're guiding the bar for him. So the takeoff is one thing, and then spotting him, I'm spotting him, my hands inverted grip. I like to do this because in case one fails, the other one's there, right? And this one is awkward for me because I don't have this bicep strength. I don't have, my biceps cannot lift this much. This is a lot easier. I can pull with my shoulders a lot more than I can curl, right? So I want to be able to pull more than I can curl. Right? I don't want to curl this much weight. It's going to be too hard.
Hurt yourself.
Exactly. Do you feel comfortable with this? Do you want to spot me or no?
I can.
You can? Okay. So let's try that. I want to see what it feels like to take the bar, because if you're taking the bar off me, another thing, I've seen coaches do this, they completely take the bar for their clients in the lift off. If you're taking the bar from me in the lift off, I can't understand how much weight I'm about to lift.
Right, yeah.
So it's kind of like taking it off and then loading up again. I'm like, holy shit, this feels weight. Yeah, exactly, surprise. You don't want to do that either, right? So let's test that out.
Cool.
All right.
So you want me to lift it off with you?
Yep, you're gonna lift it off for me?
Cool, so on your count of 3, you're gonna lift off, right?
We're gonna go inverted grip.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. All right. 1, 2, 3. That's good. That was subtle. So that's perfect. I'm gonna reset my shoulders.
Good.
I'm gonna do my reps. I'm gonna do 5 reps. 2, 3, 4, and struggle. Okay, good. Exactly. Don't be afraid to get in front of their face. You're gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna have to do it no matter what. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It shouldn't happen all the time anyways, right? So it's that one time you wanna be ready for, right? Okay, so now let's do it again. And then I'm gonna fail, right? And then, oh shit, I can't get this up.
I want you to pull it with me. There you go, push up.
So don't start pulling until you're ready for it, right? Well, in that case you were, but I'm like, set yourself. Hey, Roger, all right, take a little breather, and now I want you to push up with me, right? Because if you start taking the bar, you're gonna get tired before he's ready to push up. You don't wanna waste all your energy and then not be able to fully carry it if you needed to carry it, right? It's gonna be a momentum thing. You're trying to cheat. The spotter's trying to help him cheat because you're not gonna be able to pull that up together, right? Let's go ahead and try it, okay? You're gonna help me unload it.
Okay.
On 3, and you're gonna communicate with me. And then you're gonna help me, we're gonna do the 2 variations, pulling it with me, and then I'm gonna drop it, and then you're gonna have to reset me, okay? All right. Coach me through it.
All right, Roger. So on 1, 2, 3, on the third one, you're gonna lift up.
Okay.
I'm gonna just help you a little bit to get it off, but you'll have most of the weight.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
1, 2, 3.
Okay. You're gonna set your shoulders. All right. When you're ready, you're gonna do 5 reps.
So got it. You're not gonna have your fingers in it, but you're gonna come back and forth with it, right?
Okay.
And you're gonna bend your legs at the same time. You're gonna squat yourself, right? Because otherwise you won't be able to do it.
1 more. All right, ready? Push with me.
You see how far away you were? It's a lot harder when you're far away, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna throw out your back if you do that all the time. So you gotta step in a little bit more. Step in a little bit more. If you have to step in closer to me, that's okay.
Okay.
You need to get that bar up with me.
Okay.
All right, let's try it one more time. All right. I'm gonna fail.
All right, Roger. We're gonna bring it back.
There you go. Well, I mean, sorry, fail at the top. But you see how you stepped in with that one leg?
Yeah.
I have to do it all the time.
Okay.
That's okay to do.
Okay.
You're gonna be uncomfortable, but you're gonna have to do it, right? All right, now I'm gonna fail at the bottom, okay?
At the bottom. Okay. All right. All right, Roger, take a breather. And on 1, 2, 3, we're gonna go up.
Okay.
When you're ready. 1, 2, 3. Push with me.
A lot more proactive when it's together, right? It's a lot easier, right? That's why I said keep your fingers far away from their chest. You're gonna wanna carry the bar like that in case they get stuck in the bottom. You don't want your fingers stuck with them.
Right.
You don't have anything to access to, so keep it wider. Okay. It's gonna hurt you a lot more than me. right? Because your fingers are gonna get stuck, right? Let's try one more time. So on this one, it's fine. When you're gonna take it off. As soon as you take it off, you're gonna start doing a different one. If I get stuck here, I want you to be a little bit wider than my chest, okay?
Okay.
So right there is good for takeoff. We're gonna go on 3. 1, 2, and lift it with me.
Okay.
There you go. I'm gonna set it. I'm gonna do 2 reps and I'm gonna fail. I'm just gonna tell you right now, okay? 1, 2, and then this one. Okay.
Okay. All right, what I want you to do is take a breather, okay? And on 3, we're gonna lift together.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, lift.
Way easier like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't get your fingers stuck. If you get your fingers stuck, you cannot do anything for them. Okay? It's gonna hurt you, and then you can't, if something happens, you don't have access to your hands. You wanna have access to your hands.
Okay.
Don't get stuck with them, okay? Nice. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, incline press is gonna be a lot different. Incline press, you have even less leverage because it's so much higher, right? So let's just go over it also real quick. Let's put this at level 6. Perfect, yep, exactly. All right, so also remember on level, we're also gonna make sure that this doesn't happen. One of the best ways to know this is not gonna happen is making sure you set the client up for success. You don't want them to ever hit this every time, right? So number 1, you don't want this bench to be all the way back, number 1. Number 2, you don't want this bench to be so far forward where they're like this, and they're gonna have to go like that back to put it back. So what we're gonna do is we're always gonna try and set up, the importance of doing this is you're always gonna roll the bar forward and set up this notch at the same height of the bar. Okay, so I wanna make sure it's underneath. That's pretty good. For the general part, it's pretty good. There's some people that are shorter that won't work, or some people that are taller that won't work. That's the general rule of thumb. It's not forever and always, right? If you have it set up like this and the client is still like this, they're probably too short. So you're gonna have to push that bench back. I'm just giving you a general rule of thumb, okay? So on this one, the hardest thing is I'm at an angle. So Kira, come behind me and see how much leverage you're gonna have. You're not gonna have a lot, right?
No.
Exactly. So even if you step up on these, on those things, you won't have a lot, right? So you have to just get it up. It's the same exact way, right? We're gonna get it up the same way. You're gonna give me a lift off if I needed to, but your goal is for this hook, if you need to get this hook shorter or longer, because the client's arm are lower or higher, you need that to be, you see the distance right now? This distance, that's a good distance. You wanna have at least like a half a forearm's length. If it's too short, it's even better for in terms of spotting, but it might be hard to get him back. If it's too tall, then you're gonna have to help me every time rack it. And you don't wanna have to do this to put it away. Right. It's gonna be too difficult, right? So go ahead, actually, let's go switch sides. Brett, go ahead and lift it for me. Does your shoulder hurt in this?
It might actually.
Shit, you wanna go lower? Let's just go with the bar. Let's go with the bar. Let's take the weights off. Let's go with the bar and I'll show you what I mean. So I always usually stand on this because I'm also short. So I like to have leverage and everything. The taller you are, the more leverage you have. You can only, if you're standing on this, you can only have this base. So I don't have a lot of leg strength. All right, so go ahead and unrack it. We're gonna go on 3. 1, 2, 3, boom. All right, we got it in. Go ahead and get a couple reps in. I'm gonna follow it. It's a lot lower on their chest now, so I can't really be on top of him like this. But I'm seeing the bar speed. It looks good. Obviously, it's not a lot of weight. It looks good. All right, let's say you start struggling now. Okay, so I'm gonna start noticing that he's struggling. I'm gonna start paying more attention. Up, 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 up. There you go. All right, I'm gonna call it, Brett. Go ahead and come back. Right? That's good. And also the same thing goes on barbell chest press, incline barbell chest press, squat. You wanna make sure when the client's racking it, you're bringing it back hard. Yep. In case something happens. As long as they're hitting this, I don't care if they hit this or they break that, that's not gonna break. That's what this is built for. Yep. I'd rather you be safe with that, okay? Obviously, if this is something like this and you go like this and like, oh shit, no, that's good. You wanna pull up and back. Yep. Up and back for them. Not down and back, but up and back. So you always have space to clear this, right? Yep. Number 1. Number 2, you have to, and the incline press is a lot harder to spot, so you have to call them out. You have to be either a dictator, whatever you want to call it, but like, hey, I'm gonna stop you at this one. What? No, what? I wanna keep going. No, let's take a break, and if you want, we can keep going, but let's take a couple seconds break so you reset yourself. A lot safer for you to do it that way. If they wanna go again, they can, but they have more energy that way, right? Yep. It's just all about safety. You wanna figure out what's safety. Don't let the client convince that they know more than you. You can see it in coaching, you can see that they're failing. They need to demonstrate that they have either more power, more energy, or they can do more by showing you that they can engage their body or not. Let's say they're failing and I see they're not using the legs, but I don't want to coach it. Hey, let's rack the bar. What I want you to do is, I'm going to take a break. What I want you to do is engage your legs more. Press down on your legs and let's do 2 more. So I'm going to unrack it again and let's do 2 more. But I didn't feel comfortable saying that when he had 2 left and he's going to have the bar on top waiting for me to say something to him, right? So you have to decide when you're talking to the client. Put the bar back because there's also a lot of energy just holding a heavy-ass bar that you're not used to in front of you, right? That's communicating. You got to communicate with the client, but don't communicate if they're having a heavy load under them. Either put it away for a second and then talk to them, or coach them as they're doing the lift, not while they're holding it up, right? That's a lot of times I just stop people in their tracks and I just reset them, right? Questions on this? Do you want to try to step up on here? Sure. Let's do it. All right, Brett, you can stay in there. Let me see what it looks like. There you go.
I'm going to help you get it off a little bit, okay? And then you're going to set it up your shoulder. You ready? You can.
1, 2,
Step forward, Kyria. Yeah, and you can even put your foot on top of the yeah, go ahead. So just know that, look at where the J-hook's at, Kyria. Look at where the J-hook's at. So when they're going to come back, they're either going to hit you in the shoulder or you're going to have to back up, right? No, I'm saying that's okay to stay there, but you need to know where you're at in the face. Yes, exactly.
All right, go ahead and do 5 for me, Brett.
Keep those knuckles up, weights light. There you go, exactly. Stick that chest out. Use your legs, come on, man.
It's too light.
There you go. There you go, and let's act like you're failing. There you go, exactly, that way. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder when it's heavier, right? So you don't want them to get to that spot. But if you need to step forward because you're shorter, up and back. Up and back, that's all it is. You have to step forward, that's good, as long as you know that where the J-hook's at, okay? You guys feel comfortable with that? That's probably, honestly, the hardest lift to bring to spot. That's going to be the hardest lift to spot. I just wouldn't let it get super heavy if I start seeing the bar slow down rather than rack it. Right? If you start seeing like, okay, that's it, call it. Yeah. Hey, let's stay there. I want you to either take a breather, hang out, let's try to do 1 more. If they want to do, what the hell, I want to do 1 more. Okay, we can do 1 more, just take a break. I don't feel comfortable not spotting you and you failing on your own. I just tell them that, right? Oh, so if I was going to fail? Maybe, but I don't want to give that a chance, right? Just you can make a joke out of it. Okay, so that's that. Floor presses are the easiest thing to spot, I think, because you have so much leverage on the ground. So if we do barbell floor press or dumbbell floor press like we talked about, you can, on the barbell, you're still grabbing the barbell. It's a lot easier to grab a barbell like this and put it away than it is a dumbbell, right? And then we got Swiss bar chest press. I forgot about that one. Swiss bar is a different story. With Swiss bar, go ahead and rack that one up. Actually, you know what? We're going to come back to that one. Let's go over we'll come back to Swiss bar, don't let me forget that, but let's go over a squat, my bad. Let's go over a squat. We'll put this away for now right here. Go one lower, for me at least. Not for you. Not for you. Okay, so, let me put this over here. Okay, so, you gotta teach how to bail, okay? Let's put the 45s on. These are bumper plates. There's a reason we don't have steel plates here. I expect the bumper plate. If they get knocked off, I don't care about replacing any equipment here. Somebody's injury is much more, I'd rather not have somebody injured in here, right? So there's nothing wrong with you letting go of the weight. I don't care. The clients are afraid of making noise. They don't want to be judged by people. It doesn't matter. Hey, let go of the weight behind you, right? So I'm going to teach you how to teach somebody how to bail. So for example, hey, if I'm going to unrack, I'm going to always step in. I'm going to push up. I'm going to have enough space. That's why I never want to have anybody go like this, right? Because when it's too low. So you want to up, step back. All right, from here, let's say I'm squatting and I get to a point where, oh shit, I can't come up anymore. You're going to step forward and let go behind. That's it. You can show them that. Don't be afraid what everybody else in the gym thinks. You can even, if it's somebody like Gail Kelly, you can forewarn her, hey Gail, I'm gonna make a noise right now. That's fine. I even tell people when I'm setting up from my squat to my deadlift, hey, I'm gonna make some noise because everybody gets, oh shit, startled. If you pre-up somebody, that's fine. You're good, okay? The biggest thing on a bail is you have to move forward as you're letting go of the weight. You cannot stay in the same position. It will hurt your tailbone if you stay there, right? If I come up and I let go, it's gonna roll down your back. It's gonna hurt a lot. I've seen it happen. You need to step forward. It's just one motion, right? Boom. as you're going forward, right? Do you guys want to try to bail it out? Have you ever bailed it out? Have you bailed out? Let's bail out. Let's bail out. Let's put it a little lower for you. I want you to bail out with this one. You don't have to go into a squat. I just want you to bail out. Let's put it this one. Oh no, my microphone. All right. So teach me how to bail.
Teach you how to bail?
Yeah.
All right, Roger. I'm going to show you how to bail out of a back squat.
Okay.
So, same thing, you're going to set up underneath the rack, lift up.
There you go. You don't have to go more than like, you don't have to go barely bend your knees and then you can do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, so what you're going to do is, if you can't come up in your squat, what I want you to do is let go of the weight and step forward at the same time.
Okay.
Okay? This is what it's going to look like. You're going to squat, and you're not going to stay with the
Yeah, perfect. That's it, right? You're running away, which is fine. You don't have to run away, but you can step away. Did you feel any pain there when you let go?
No.
Good. That's the idea, right? You don't want to get injured. So it's letting go without pain, right? You don't have to extend super far. You just want to let go and step forward. Because you extended a lot, so be careful with your lower back too, right? You're like super afraid of it, which is okay. The more comfortable you get with barbell lifting, it gets a lot easier to teach and do comfortable stuff. Okay, so that's bailing. Do we feel comfortable with bailing? Okay, so I would say if you have a client and they're gonna have barbell squat, and for you it looks like pretty heavy, doesn't matter what they think is heavy or not. If for you it looks like it's pretty heavy, I need you to ask them, do you know how to bail? If they don't know how to bail, let's go over bailing. Okay, it's up to you to decide what that number is. If you don't feel comfortable bailing over 185, let's go over it now. I'd rather you be safe than sorry later, right? All right, let's stand this guy up here. All right, so barbell back squat, we're gonna go down and up with them. It's the same thing as the chest press. We're not gonna lift the weight up for them. If they get stuck, we're gonna have to put a lot of effort, but they have to still push away. They cannot assume we're gonna lift them limp. It's not gonna happen. And you have to communicate that, because I've seen people try to be limp and I'm like, dude, I can't, we're gonna stay stuck here together because I can't lift you up. There's no way I can lift this weight up by myself, right? So what you wanna do is, Brett, go ahead and get underneath the bar. Obviously a little short for you, but. There you go. Do you feel comfortable with trying this way? You wanna go light? I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you that.
This should be fine.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my hands here, right? Let's go ahead and just do like 2 reps maybe. You don't have to go all the way down if you don't want to. Okay. There you go. So that's here. Sometimes I might even go this way. Okay, go ahead and go down. And then up again. Good. But I'm staying close to him. I'm keeping my legs wide. Down again. And then let's say like you're acting. Okay, let's put it up. All right, this time actually let's try to like start failing. Okay, so I'm pulling him up with me, okay? You might have to, sometimes I've gone like, oh shit, with one leg only. He's a lot taller than me, so it's gonna be a lot difficult. For you, it's gonna be a lot like that for a lot of people, so you're gonna have to get used to it. Go ahead and go one more time and try to bail on me, or not bail, I'm sorry. Do not bail on me. No, definitely not. You're gonna start failing on me. So I have one leg in front, up, right? But I'm almost on my tippy toes at that point. He's taller than me, so I'm gonna have to be close to him no matter what. Don't be afraid. That's what I'm saying about communication. If you need them to communicate, there you go. Nice, man. Go ahead and rack it,
I wanted to check that one.
Careful with your back, yeah. If you feel comfortable with it, go for it. If you don't feel comfortable with it, you need to make sure they know how to bail, because if you're gonna step in there and you're gonna try to spot a 355-pound squat, can you get that person up? If you think you can, go for it. But if not, I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm not gonna spot you. If you can't come up, let go of it. Let go of that weight. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. But I need you to know what you can spot and what you can't, or what you feel comfortable. If that looks scary to you, just tell them ahead of time. Hey, that doesn't look. You got this weight. I've seen you do 355. I don't feel comfortable. But if it ever gets to the point that blah blah blah, I need you to just bail on me. Okay? I'm not gonna be able to get you up. I want you to know that, but at the same time, I'm gonna have you be safe, so if you need to get the weight up, get it up. Otherwise, do 1 or 2 reps in reserve. That's just gonna be, we're gonna do 1 or 2 reps lighter, but we'll do more sets instead. That's another way you can communicate that, right? Hey, we have 3 sets of 5 squats. Maybe let's do, and if you see the first one and it's 5 and he's struggling already, hey, let's do 3 more sets. So you did 1 set already. Let's do 3 more sets of 4 instead, right? You can make it whatever you wanna do, but just keep them safe. But it's safe according to each person's category. My safe is different, you're too safe, right? You gotta make it safe for you to handle that, right? Your situation depending on you, right? I'm gonna have you spot me, okay? Let's try it out. All right, so I'm gonna unwrap. Oh wait, one more thing I forget to show with bread. Do one more for me. And let's lift this up a little higher. Go ahead, once you do it, go ahead and I'm gonna take it up a little higher. Remember what I talked about, putting the weight back, right? With them when they're done with the last rep. If you're spotting somebody, even if you're not spotting somebody, it's just nice to do. Let's go 2 reps. I'm gonna spot them. Nice, a little pop.
You heard that?
Yep, and up. Nice, let's go ahead and finish. Step forward, and bam. It's easier for them on rack like that. Every time, every time. As long as they know that you're doing it, you don't wanna be over here and then push them and like, oh shit, I'm falling forward, right? You wanna go according to their speed, and when they're about an inch away, hit it in. Hit it in, right? So I want you to do that with me, okay? Do you feel comfortable with that? Okay, let's try it. So you're gonna be here, boop, I'm gonna step back. All right. There you go. Okay. You can do that. I would guide with the bar when you're going forward. You're gonna spot from your armpits going on the way up and down, and it's up to you if you feel like doing this or you feel like doing this. It's whatever you feel more stronger at, right? With girls, I sometimes go like this. I don't want to set my boundaries and go here. I like to go from here, but with men, if they're lifting heavy, I'm underneath their armpits all the time, for sure. I sometimes even hug it, like basically. Yeah, so let's try it just on racking, and I want you to rack it with me, okay? So here, I finish my set. Yeah, exactly, that's it. As long as they're landing in, you're good, all right? But that's why it's important to know where this is at. Because you don't want to, I don't have to go up on my tippy toes, then you can't help me if I have to go up on my tippy toes, right? Questions on the barbell back squat? Okay. Kyria, you feel okay about that?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see what else. On the front squat, honestly, there's really hard to spot anybody in the front squat. You're gonna be here, you're gonna teach them to bail forward. So let's talk about the bailing forward part. So, hold on, let me switch this out. So I'm gonna be here, right? All right, so if I need to bail Kyria and Brett, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down, and if I can't get this weight up, opposite, right? You're gonna let it go forward and you're gonna step back. You can show that too if you don't feel comfortable. I definitely wouldn't suggest showing that with the weight stacked up. That's where you talk about it before you rack the weights up, right? Hey, have you gone over bailing? No, let's do this real quick, okay? If they say yeah, that's great. Like, okay, just wanna make sure we're on the same page because the weight's gonna be heavy. I wanna make sure you feel comfortable with it, right? You also, that's why it's good, if you also do that, exercise history. Go back on the iPad, look at the exercise history, see what they've done before. You know if they're attempting a new weight, I would do it if I'm scared of somebody. If they're attempting a new weight they're not used to, I'm gonna have to be on top of it. If they're attempting a weight that they're used to, not as much, I'm still gonna have to, but I know they've done this before, right? So that's how you know. You always wanna use your exercise history. But honestly, on a squat, you can't spot. It's bail. Like, I can't grab you from underneath. I'm not gonna pull you from the front, just let go of it, right? That's all you can do. Okay, so we did that. Goblet squat, so this guy, if you need to spot it, honestly, the only thing you wanna do for a goblet squat, a lot of times, especially with people that are older or, how would you say it? Have a hard time getting the weight from the ground, is leave them a box or a bench to step up on. So you can leave the weight here and they can start getting it ready like this. So I always set it up like that for Vivi and anybody older. Hey, I'm gonna put a box here so you can grab it from. It's a lot easier to grab it from here and step down than it is for me to do, right? Especially the weights gets heavier and heavier, always just put it in a box, right? That's easy to do. You can't really spot on a box or on a goblet squat. All you can do is have them be close to a bench, and then when they're done at the bottom, like go on top of the bench, right? Like let it lower down the bench, because it's really hard, or just take it away from them. Yep. I'm done, right? From the front, I'm done. Things that I don't think you can spot safely is a barbell overhead press. Very difficult to spot safety. You're not tall, you won't be able to do it. You're not high kneeling, you won't be able to do it. Like, it's just hard. Like, I mean, unless you're not gonna be able to do like his height. Try to extend your arms. How far your arms extend? Okay, so how would you spot him? Impossible, right? They're not gonna happen, right? So if that's the case, make sure they're safe. If you start feeling they're coming down too fast, hey, let's put the bar away. You gotta coach them out of it. They start wobbling and they start taking a step forward or something like that because they can't catch it. Hey, bring it down. I'm gonna try once they get halfway to hold on to the bar, right? But I won't be able to do it that much. I'll try to guide them underneath from behind. But dude, they're coming at full speed, and I'm not slowing them down. It's gonna hurt them. So just slowly bend your knees and come down. If you have to, right? Receive it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying about like, you have to make sure you coach in the beginning very well, understand where you wanna go, squeeze your butt, drive through your legs. But if you have to catch it with your knees bent, right? You don't wanna catch it with your legs straight. It's gonna hurt your back and it's gonna probably mess up your shoulders. The reason you're going to do this in a push press, right? So catch it like slow. If you have to bail out of it, bring it here first and then step forward. Like it's gonna be a quick movement. It's gonna be like, right? But at the same time, like you hopefully you never get to that point. I don't see us ever getting to that point. I like to be conservative. I'd rather somebody go for more reps than anything. Take more breaks or whatever. I push press also. There's no way. There's no way. You can't spot that. You can only make it look so good. I want you to lock at the top. If you can't hold this weight here comfortably, you probably shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? You need to be able to lock out, and if your elbows are bending and you can't lock out, no, that's too much. Either you're too burnt out, or we hit our max, we're good. So be able to call that, right? Same thing goes for a dumbbell shoulder press. Not really, and there's no way. Unless you're sitting on the bench, and the only way I'll be doing it sitting on the bench is I'm basically guiding my wrist. Just like anything dumbbell, I'm guiding them through the wrist as I'm doing it. Right, because you're at that height. But even you, for seated, I don't know if that's too high for you. It might not be. Yeah. But if it is, there's no way. You just guide there. Once they get down to 90 degrees, that's when you can guide them, maybe. Yeah. Even then, it might be really hard, right? And then the Swiss bar chest press. The way, I'm just gonna show you, you would unrack it and re-rack it the same exact weight with an inverted grip, right? So you would do it like so. So this is how the bar is set right here. You 1, 2, 3, boom. You do your reps, and then boom, back, right? But this is how you have to do it. You don't want to do it from one side because you're gonna throw him off, right? If you do it this way, there's no way, right? If you do it the other way, there's no way. You have to do it from here. You also don't want to do it from here. You don't have leverage here. You're not, right? Your leverage is with an inverted grip. That's your leverage.
I mean, obviously that's better if you do leverage like that.
I mean, yeah, honestly. I mean, obviously it depends on the person, I think. I've gone from inside. Obviously, if it's lightweight, I can do it. But when it's heavyweight, I'm probably leveraging this, right? Because I can pull and pull with both hands evenly. With this, I don't know if I'm gonna almost let go of this grip, right? So with this, at least, it's like a lot easier to maintain here. Let me think. But you're still like getting down and up with them, and this is the way I spot them with this, right? Do you guys want to act this one out, or you think you got it? Up to you.
It's up to you, yeah.
What's up?
It's up to her. I'm fine.
How do you feel? You want to try it?
Sure.
Because you never used it before, right? Have you used this before?
I did it the other. I didn't do it this way.
Okay, that's fine. So let's try it out. Why don't we put this on level 10 or 9? Perfect. Now let's get this guy over here. Let's pull this barbell. Yep, exactly. Gracias. Okay, so Kira, go behind me. All right, so let's go. I'm gonna go wide on this one. Okay. We're gonna unrack on 3. You're gonna actually coach me through it. What am I doing?
All right, so on 3, we're gonna rack. You're gonna count. Okay. I'm gonna lift off with you a little bit. Okay. And you're gonna set yourself up over top.
Get closer with your legs. You're gonna want that leverage when you start.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
We're gonna do 5 reps.
Get closer even for now. Here you go. Do you feel more or less leverage like that?
More.
Okay, good. So you just gotta know where the J hook's at, right? That's it. Okay, and oh shit, oh shit,
Okay.
oh shit.
Push with me.
That's it.
Okay.
But you see, after you move forward and back, you move. If you have all the space to do it, you can almost come up to the bar, really.
Okay.
Right? You need the leverage.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to get closer than I would, right? Don't worry about them. As long as you're not touching their bar to mess them up, you're solid. You can get as close as you want, right? Let me think. Questions? Does that clear up a lot of things, or not really? Mm-hmm. Hopefully, yeah. Wrist on any dumbbell, the bar on any bar will work. On a squat, you're gonna come from behind. You're gonna help them push it away when they're done, just to make sure that it's locked in and safe. It doesn't matter if, honestly, on the barbell, it doesn't matter if this is on top of this, as long as it's there. You can fix that later. So a lot of times it's kind of like, well, this one I can't do, there's nothing, but It's almost like, yeah, this part or something like that on top of it. That's fine. You can still rack it. I just want you to rack it no matter what. Put it away safely. That's it. We can worry about pulling it to the side after they get done, right? They have to help you with it. You cannot pull it up on your own. They have to know that, right? Have you guys trained Joey? Or seen Joey?
I've seen Joey, but I haven't.
Okay, Joey's the type of client that he will let go of all his energy when he's shot. And I'm like, Joey, you cannot bail like this for me. You cannot leave me to do it. And I told him before, bail it out. Just let go of it. Because he's like, dude, but he does it on every lift. And I'm like, how do you still do this, man? Like he gets pull-ups, all of a sudden, that's it. His arms won't even bend a little bit. You get a squat, and all of a sudden, he's like, I can't even come up. I'm like, what? Like, what is that? Is that like, I don't even know what that is, but I've known him for 5 years and he does it every time. And I'm like, I thought this was like a beginning thing where he would get more comfortable with the lifts. No, it's still going on. So you just gotta know your client, right? If you know that about him, he's gotta know that he's gotta know how to bail. You can't do it all the time, right? Okay, yeah, so that hopefully we're on the same page for everybody now. And then it's more up to you to understanding, okay, I need to communicate with this client before I start with them. Build that relationship so they trust me. I also don't want them to feel like you can't spot them, right? But they need to know, okay, if I'm training with Kiri, I might have to do 4 sets and just make my reps longer so I can have more breaks in between. That's safe. Or the other thing we can do is, that's fair. Hey, it's like teamwork, right? If there's another person, if Brett's working right next to you, hey Brett, do you mind spotting Kyle on this set while I go take care of your client? We do that all the time. Everybody, Taylor and Heather always ask me to spot somebody in the middle of a session with somebody else. There's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather you actually do that if you don't feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, well that was my question, like for the chest press, like incline, if it's a super tall guy. I think we have a
Joey. Joe. Joe is like 6'7".
Yeah.
There's no chance. I can't get him either.
I mean, I don't have any.
Leverage, yeah, exactly. There's a few tall.
Yesterday, he's pretty tall.
Yep, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I get that. So you just have to know your strengths and weaknesses, right? And until you will get better on understanding how to handle that client. Trust me, it just takes some time.
Yeah.
Right? So you can just keep seeing it and keep observing and keep seeing it and eventually be like, oh no, I got this. If you fail, you need to pull up with me and I can only do so much. At the same time, if you get stronger, it helps out.
Yeah.
A lot, right?
Yeah.
Nice job. Okay, so always communicate. That's the key lesson on everything. Communicate. Communication